Welcome to a short, real stretchy, gooey vinyasa flow practice. We're going to get started seated. Things to have with you if you have yoga blocks at home, grab them. Maybe a pillow to slide in between you and the floor at some points. You need a little extra lift, and a towel in case you want to be able to reach your toes a little easier with less pain in your low back or tightness in those hamstrings. So just set yourself up so you have everything around you. And once you land on your mat, you can just stay here, kind of try to fluff off everything that's not just the physicality of both the movement and the breath. The goal is to join them. So we're going to get started seated. Maybe you're cross-legged. If it's more comfortable for you to sit on your shins, go ahead and sit up. This is the first place you could utilize that pillow and slide it just in between your heels and your hips. And that'll help give you a little lift, a little less compression of the knees. So whatever shape you decided to sit in, ground down through the hips, lift up through the waist, through the back of the heart, and ground your palms either face down or face up on your lap. Take a couple of deep breaths in to center yourself. Big exhales through the mouth. Big inhales through the nostrils. Again, out through the mouth. And breathing in and out through the nose. Try to find this 3-part breath where the low belly fills, the rib cage fills, and then the chest fills. And that same pattern on the way back out. Chest falls, ribs close, belly squeezes up and in. Take your right ear and just drop it to your right shoulder. Press into your left hand, pressing down to the thigh. I'll stretch both sides of that muscle from insertion point to insertion point. Maybe take an easy nod with the head, keeping that right ear heavy and keeping the right and the left hand firm. Next time your head rolls, take a half circle to the left side, pressing into the right hand, hanging out for a moment, breathing a bit deeper into that front side of the neck. And then adding the nod, creating just a little movement, but keeping that ear heavy. Good, find one more breath, one more nod. Let your head kind of take those half circles, right and left. Attach them to your breath, exhale, they're down. And stack your head back on top of your heart. Inhale, reach your arms up and overhead. Interlock your fingers, flip your palm and drive them into the ceiling. Drag your shoulders out of your ears. And then just find some tick-tocking side to side. It's moving right and left, opening up one side waist and then the other. Drawing it into some circles. So opening up the back of the ribs, and then as you inflate, lift your heart, lean back slightly, and then continue the circles, moving with the breath. And then reverse your circle. Stay heavy in the hips, light in the heart, hollowed out through the belly. Next time you're overhead, reach the arms up, separate the fingers, pull the elbows down to the space behind you, look up. Restack the arms, the neck. Exhale, pull them down. Put a little resistance in them, like you're moving through something thicker than air. Find one more round. And then this time, as the arms release, interlock the fingers behind your lower back. That's tough on the shoulders. You can grab for opposite elbows. Try to wiggle your fingers to the outer edges of the upper arm above the elbow. Or interlock and really open across the pec muscles. I'm going to take some rocking side to side. Sometimes it's nice to bend them into the side of the waist for a moment. Squeeze that outer elbow in. Maybe shift to the other side, see what's going on in the front of the shoulders. Re-extend them to the back. Inhale, look up. Exhale, just release the grip. Take a nice shoulder roll to the back, 1 or 2. And then again, sweep the arms back up to the sky. Right arm down to the side, soften the elbow so that the shoulder can slide out of your ear, and then descend towards the right. Really reach through the top left fingertips and then drop the left hip nice and heavy towards the ground. You can play with your gaze, looking up or down, nodding in or back. Just be playful. Just witness what sensations come up in the neck. And then push the ground away and wilt over to the second side. Again, shoulder falls out of the ear by softening the elbow. Sometimes the floor pushes that shoulder forward. So you want to wrap it back, tuck it into the pocket, and then go deeper. Reach through the top right middle finger, but ground through the right hip point. Big breaths in. Again, freeing up the neck. Just kind of tracing the space around you. Moving nice and slow as to not hurt your neck. Push the ground away. Inhale, lift all the way back up. Twist to the right. Right hand comes to the ground behind you. Left hand gets to the thigh. And then you push the ground away with the back hand to lift you taller. Push the thigh away with the front hand to rinse you out. Inhale, come all the way back up. Changing side, right hand behind. Or sorry, left hand behind, twisting to the left. All the way around through the neck. Inhale, come back to the center, reach the arms up to the sky. Exhale, hands to your heart. Take a moment just to bow in to yourself. Give yourself this next 20 minutes or so just to connect to feeling. Try to drop off all of the extra thoughts, quiet the mind a bit. Come all the way into all fours. So hands down, right under the armpits, knees directly under the hips. On an inhale, sink the belly, look forward. Pull the shoulders back. Really arch the tail as much as possible and then reverse it, push down, find the weight of the head. The fingers are active. Inhale, sink the belly, move through a few rounds. Inhale to look up, exhale to look in, and you're welcome to stay linear or to free up the movement a bit. I like to think about my rib cage, drawing circles in the space around me, and then my hips and head are just kind of following along, finding the tail end of that circle, and then reversing it. Staying in your breath, maybe closing your eyes and just feeling a little bit more what's going on internally. And pausing the movement when you feel it. You're going to walk the knees back slightly, put the big toes together, press the hips back to a child's pose. On an inhale, you're going to swim towards the floor, so elbows drop. Try to guide the chest through the arms. Inhale, lifting up into your low cobra, or a little higher, and then reversing, elbows down, hips back. Inhale, forward, lifting up and out of it. Exhale, drawing back. One more, inhale, lifting, floating up. Exhale, lowering down, pushing back through all fours, finding your child's pose. Big breath in, big breath out. Good, coming up to all fours. You're going to step your right leg through your hands and then dive your hips down. Inhale to look up. Exhale to straighten your front leg any amount. Flex the toes. You can keep it bent, but if it'll go to straight, straighten. Big bend to the front, look up. Exhale, straighten the legs. Suck the right hip back and fold forward. One more round. Big bend, look forward. Look up. Exhale, straighten the leg. Come back to your low lunge. Feel the weight in the hips, the strength from your front foot to rise the arms up overhead. You want to feel you're wrapping your right hip back and pressing the left hip flexor forward, anchoring through your back toes like you're trying to spread them into the mat. Take your right hand to the outer edge of your right thigh and press the thigh in towards the center as you lean over to the right. So you get a big side body stretch from fingertip all the way down to the back knee. Come all the way back up. Left hand to the ground, right under the armpit. Peel your right arm to the sky for a low lunge twist. Big breath in, big breath out. If it feels okay, your right arm can wrap around your low back for a little half bind, looking up, spiraling further around like you were gonna fall over to the left. Good. Right hand returns to the ground, straighten your front leg, this time walking your hands back under the shoulders. Inhale, arch the low back as you try to flex the toes. If you have a yoga block, you can put your hands up on blocks so you're higher from the ground. Exhale, soften and fold in. Squeeze the belly out of the way like you're trying to carve out the contents. And then inhale, lengthen through the spine. Exhale, fold deeper. One more round of breath. Inhale. Big breath out. Exhale. Inhale, rise back up. Bend the front knee, walk forward, tuck your back toes. Find a slightly higher lunge. Left hand to the ground, right arm spirals up to the sky. Big stretch across the chest. Keep the hips square and really drive weight through that back heel. Push weight into your front knee. One more big breath in. Exhale, hands to the ground. You're going to propel yourself to the front of the mat. So left foot comes in. Halfway lift is your inhale. Bend the knees deeply, fold. Exhale. 2 more. Straighten the knees, lift up halfway. Exhale, soften the knees, fold. Connect your torso to your thigh. 1 more round. Inhale, lengthen, lift. Exhale, bend, fold. Connect your hands to the back of your ankles and then go towards a straighter shape. Bury your head in between your legs, below the knees. Shrug your shoulders out of your ears and then try to get a little straighter. Squeeze the belly out of the way, lean forward to the toe side of the foot. Pull yourself in deeper and deeper and deeper, and then release. Hands to the ground, step back with the right leg. Find your low lunge. Point the back toes, hips heavy, look up, inhale. Exhale, straighten towards your half split. Moving between the two. Inhale, press the hips, look up. Exhale, straighten the front leg as much as you can. Suck the left hip back. 1 more round, bend in, look up. Exhale, stretch back. Bending your way back to your low lunge. Press into the front foot, sweep the arms up to the sky. Inhale. Left hand to the outside of the left leg, hug it into the center, and then reach away from your right side body over to the left. Keep wrapping left hip back, right hip forward, and then you want to feel the opposite in the ribs. Left rib forward. 1 more big breath in. Good, reverse that hand to the ground. Left arm up to the sky, shoulders back. Gaze up to your top hand if that's okay for the neck. Like 1 more big breath to spiral, maybe taking that half bind and going a little deeper and deeper and deeper. And then hand returns to the ground for a longer hold of your half split. So come on in, walk your hands back either to blocks or right underneath the armpits, look forward, arch the low back, and then soften, bend the elbows, fold in, head is last to release. On every inhale, feel this nice rippling through the spine to lengthen you. Every exhale can help deepen you, and you can keep that as a mantra in your practice. Inhale to lengthen, to lift. Exhale to deepen, release some tension. 1 more round of breath. And shifting back to your low lunge. Walk your hands forward, tuck your back foot, lift your back thigh, keep hugging the left hip as you spiral around to the left. Really press through the right heel, bend into the left knee, drop the hips low. 1 more breath to rotate around and around, around. And then hand to the ground, propel yourself to the front of the mat. Heel toe your feet as wide as the mat. Fingertips to the shin, inhale, lengthen, look forward. Exhale, soften, bend, in. 2 more, inhale, lengthen, lift. Exhale, bend and soften. Last one, inhale, lift. Exhale, soften. Take your left hand, plant it right in the center of your feet. Lean forward so you're making a tripod of weight between your 2 hands, or your 2 feet in 1 hand. You're going to straighten the right leg and then spiral the right arm up to the sky. Lean forward again into the toe side. Play around with where you're standing most of your weight. So you can roll between your big toes, pinky toe, and then try to find that balance. If you want to take a half bind, drop that hand in, try to grab the inside of your left thigh and roll around further. You're coming all the way back out just to switch sides. Right hand goes to the ground. Bending both knees to start, and then extend your left knee. Slowly twist and reach your left arm up to the sky. Gaze if you can, look up. If that's tough, you can look down. And then if you found the half bind on the other side, wiggle your fingers into the inner thigh of the right leg. Lean forward. And slowly come back up. Heel toe your feet hip distance apart. Halfway lift, inhale. Exhale, fold deeper, bend your knees, left leg steps to the back, lowers all the way to the ground for your low lunge again. Sweep your arms to the sky, this time taking prayer arms or prayer hands. Shift them all the way up past the head and then bend so that the thumbs find the nape of the neck. Squeeze the elbows in, and then lean back. Push away from the front foot, but drag your hips forward. One more big breath, go further. Exhale, hands to the heart, hands to the floor. Straighten your front leg. You're gonna shimmy it over to the left a little bit. So lift it up, place it over to the left. Once you get it over to the side, drop your toes over to the right. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, fold while you continuously try to flex that front foot. Get that nice zippy feeling on the outside of your right leg. Try not to let it soften and point forward, or you're missing half the stretch. Pull it back, bend the elbow. You'll walk around to the right side if you want a little bit more, so that you're twisting away from it and then fold deeper into it. Big breath in, big breath out. Slowly coming back out of it. Lift your leg, put it back square with the right hip, and then come all the way into a lifted lunge. Inhale, look forward, drop the weight of the hips. Exhale, straighten both legs. Try flexing your front foot and driving your fingers forward and down. Two more. Big bend, look up. Big stretch, look in. One more. Exhale. Rebend your front knee. Propel yourself to the front of the mat. Halfway lift, inhale. Forward fold, exhale. Soft knees, hands down. Right leg steps to the back. Lower the knee, point the toes. This time as you push up, reach your arms to the sky, interlock the fingers, and then take your hands behind the nape of the neck, elbows wide. Drop the weight of the hips and lean back into the cradle that you've made with your hands. Instead of just sinking down, think about lifting your heart and going up and back. Big breath in, big breath out. Use your hands to restack your head. Hands to the ground, finding your half split. As you flex the toes, lift it, take it over to the right, drop the toes to the left, and then suck that hip back and in. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold. As you continue to flex your front foot, it's gonna wanna release and soften, but you actively pull the toes back towards that left arm. If you want more, walk your hands to the outside of that leg, soften the elbows, and bow in. Inhale, rise out of it. Come all the way back around, turn the toes to the sky, step it all the way back to that left side. Return to your higher lunge. Fingertips are down, hips heavy, look up. Exhale, straighten your legs towards your pyramid pose, dropping the back heel, lifting the front toes. Again, rebend, look forward, open across the collarbones. Exhale, straighten and flex. The last one, big bend. Exhale, flex. Back into your low lunge, plant your hands. This time, step your left leg to your right and find your down dog. Bending the knees, relaxing the neck, and then pedaling out through the feet. Sometimes when you pedal, it's nice to spin one knee in and find a twist in the hips. We'll play around with for whatever works for you here for two more breaths. Big breath in, maybe stillness. Lift your heels. You're gonna roll forward to a plank, lower down to your belly, with or without your knees. Point your toes down, slide your hands back a little bit, and find your low cobra. Inhale, press down into your hands, find a higher cobra. Keep pressing down, find a lifted cobra. Exhale, soften back in. Just going through 3 stages. 1 is all the work is in your spine. Then begin to use your hands to lift up a little higher, keep the butt and the belly tight, and then really use the whole of the arm to lift up out. Exhale, soften back down. Then open your arms up wider than the mat. Come to a little gecko arm, and then inhale, lift up. Straighten the arms as much as you can. You're gonna twist, drop the left shoulder down, let the head soften, the ear release to the floor, and then unroll, lift all the way back up. Exhale, the right shoulder down, head softens. Inhale, lift back up through the center, find one more twist. Make sure the center of the palm is lifted away from the ground. Inhale, lift. Stone twist. Back through the center. Soften down, hands underneath the shoulders. Push back to all fours. Step your right leg to the outside of both hands for your lizard pose. Press the hips nice and heavy towards the ground. You can stay here. I like to shift a bit side to side, even allowing some twisting action in my hips. And then as you want, you have available, you can lower down, maybe forearms down to a pillow or a block, or maybe the floor is accessible and you drop your forearms down to the ground. You constantly want to think about squeezing your right thigh into the right side body, so you're not just dumping the weight out towards your pinky toe side of the foot, unless that's a choice you've made, which is also totally fine. But if you're here, press into the big toe. And climb back up to your hands. You're going to tuck your back toe under and propel yourself up to a wide squat. So once your feet are at the front, turn the toes out and then drop the hips. Drop the hips only so far as you can without lifting the heels, which might be all the way into the yogi squat, drawing your tailbone underneath you, your elbows into the inner thighs, and then lifting your heart up. It's okay for your pose to be up here, and just with the idea that you're keeping your heels down, you're training that muscle to lengthen, to release, and slowly you'll drop in over time. Find one more big breath in, get nice and open in those hips. And then draw your hands to the ground. Turn your toes forward. Keep your left foot where it is so you can step your right foot back. Lower the right knee. You're in lizard pose. Both hands are on the inside of my left leg. And you can stay, you can sway, you can twist. And then maybe you settle in a bit deeper. So there are variations where you fall out to the pinky toe side, but if you're doing that, make sure the hip is going with you and dipping to the side. If your foot is flat, press into the big toe mound and squeeze the inner thigh. And one more big breath in. And slowly climb back up to your hands. This time you're just going to shift your left knee back to the right for puppy pose. So walk your knees all the way together, directly under your hips. Walk your hands forward like you would for the setup of down dog, and then drop the forehead to the ground. If the forehead makes it there pretty easy, lift your gaze and then lay your throat on the ground. The goal is for one day your heart to sink to the floor. So it doesn't have to touch, but it is just the sensation behind it. Even if your forehead is down, imagine how much you could release. Press into the hands. Slowly walk your hands up and in. Walk your feet forward. Tuck your toes. Come into a toe stand and grab your towel. So the towel is optional. You might not need it. I like to wiggle my pinky toes out. Take your right arm up to the sky. You can bend the elbow so that the towel is behind your spine. Left arm comes behind you. Grab onto the towel and then walk your fingers closer together. Once you have that grip of the towel, you want to pull the towel apart and try to get your top arm not to fold you forward, but to open away from your head. Maybe you don't need the towel and you can wiggle your fingers towards each other. You can feel that same pull of the fingers apart, and that'll give you the space around your head for one more big breath in on the right side. And then exhale, soften out of it. Switch the towel to the left hand. Reach the arm up, bend the elbow, catch the towel with your right hand underneath, and then wiggle the fingers closer together. One side might be more accessible for you. Just notice the difference in the side. Again, the top arm, if it starts to fold you forward, Really squeeze the arm off the head. Maybe the feet are starting to get a little loud. Just breathe through it. And then slowly release. Shift forward, pat out your toes, and shift onto a comfortable seat. You can take your towel with you if you're tight in the back side of your legs or in your lower back. We're gonna start with our right foot extended and our left foot in. On an inhale, reach the arms out to the side, flex the toes, and then shift over. Try to grab onto your right foot, which might mean bending your knee and grabbing, or even wrapping the towel. The left arm is going to come up and over to the side, and you'll play with straightening the leg. Pull yourself, your rib cage, around, and then reach over towards the extended toes. You don't need the towel, you're grabbing on and then bending the elbow and pulling yourself in. And if you want even more, you try to get the front or the side of your body to the front side of the inner thigh. And then once you connect to the foot, you can try to lean back, like you were going to fall backwards. Each breath can help you deepen. And then we'll just come out of it. Switch your legs. Sit up nice and tall. Reach the arms out to the side. Glide over, wrapping the towel if you need, bending the knee if you need. Find any way to connect the energy to your foot. Pull your right arm up and over. Maybe the left leg starts to extend a little straighter. If you want, and you took it on the other side, lay down in front of the leg, grab the top, and then roll backwards. Wherever you get to, once you move the bones, you move the muscles, try to get out of the headspace a little bit and really into the breath. Slowly come all the way back up. Draw the feet in front of you. Take your towel with you if you need. Inhale, reach the arms up to the sky. Hinge forward at the waist, kind of flat back. Wrap your towel around the edges of your feet and then pull yourself down. We're going to ripple in and out. So inhale, lift up. You use the towel or your arms to pull yourself further forward, and then exhale, soften down. One more. Inhale, lift up. Pull yourself forward. Soften at the bottom. Even if the bottom's all the way up here, think about where you can lengthen your spine and then soften in. Really releasing, keeping the towel by the mat in case you need it. We're going to roll on down to your spine. So come on down, walk your feet in and just cross your right ankle over your left thigh. Push the right knee away from you. And then slowly hug your left leg in. Keep a flex in both feet so that the knees stay in alignment. Thread your right arm through the hole. Grab the back side of the left hamstring and pull in without lifting your hips. So press the hips down, pull the knee in and down as you push with your brain or even your hand the right knee away from you. You're going to keep the same shape in your legs, but send the left foot to the floor. Tee your arms out to the side, either cactus or T, and then drop your legs to the left until your right foot finds the ground flat. Once it finds the ground, push the knee away from your nose. Try to relax the left leg. And then you're going to peel back towards the center. So lift the left leg back over, keeping the same leg. Cross your right thigh all the way over like you're sitting cross-legged at a table. And then pull your knees into your chest. Curl your head, neck, and shoulders up and take your arms up and over, catch your ankles. You want to lift your feet away from your body and then settle the hips down and think about pulling the feet away from each other, kind of like a wishbone. Keep the chin in nice and long. This is one of the spots the chin likes to lift up. So really lengthen the back of the neck. Press the lower back into the ground and the back of the head into the ground as you pull the feet wide and apart. Slowly unwind, drop the feet to the ground, left side. Left ankle crosses right over the right thigh. Keep both feet flexed. Drop the the left knee away from you. Then lift up and in. The arm goes through the hole you've created. Interlock the fingers behind the right hamstring and pull. Press the left knee away from you. You can use your brain or you can use your hand. Lower the right foot to the ground. Keep the shape of the legs. Drop the legs to the side until the right foot finds the floor. Tee your arms out to the side, and then you're going to guide the left knee forward and away from you. Getting a nice hip flexor stretch into that outer hip. Back to the center. Same leg crosses further over, and then step both legs up. Curl the head, neck, and shoulders. Reach the arms up and around. Pull the feet away from the body towards the armpits. Press the hips down. Lay the head back down and rinse out through the inner thighs. I just want to feel like you can pull the legs through each other. Give it one more last little pull. And then unwind and squeeze your legs in. Keep hold of your right leg. Extend the left leg long. Really use your brain to push that left thigh down. You want to feel it nice and heavy on the ground. And then you're welcome to use your towel if you want to wrap the bottom side of your right foot with either grabbing onto your ankle and pumping the leg or keeping the towel wrapped. Just find a few pumps of the leg. And when you're happy with that, you'll flex the toes. Use the towel or your hands to pull the leg closer to your head. And then slowly release the grip of the leg. Float it down. Take a moment to feel the difference between the right side and the left side. And then pull the left side in. Give it a squeeze. Extend it up to the ceiling. With the towel or without, you'll pump the knee down and up, down, and up. Next time it's extended, flex the toes. Walk up as high as you can, pull the leg towards you. And slowly release the leg. Control the path down. Scoop both knees up and into the chest. Curl your head, neck, and shoulders up. Wrap your arms as tight as you can. And then squeeze everything nice and tight. Exhale, soften into your Shavasana. Extend the legs. Turn your palms to face the ceiling. Relax the toes apart. Take a big breath in through the nose. Big sigh out through the mouth. Feeling this nice open body. This open mind that's trying to find a little vacancy. Where is there space where there's nothing going on? Start to breathe a little deeper. Imagine picturing your lungs, watching them fill up with oxygen and then empty out. You can feel the chest cavity react. Notice how much movement you get in your body just by breathing. And then begin to turn it into movement in your fingers, toes, wrists, ankles, head. Wake everything back up. Reach the arms up and overhead for a yummy yawning stretch. Roll over to your side for one more moment of stillness. Just connecting to the floor, the support of the ground underneath you, the space above you, the opportunity in it. And then connecting to your own strength, press yourself up to a comfortable seat. Sitting nice and tall, perhaps sitting a little easier in this shape than where you began. Draw your hands to your heart. On an inhale, lift your heart. Exhale, bow your head. Give yourself a moment just to acknowledge the time that you've given, the space, maybe something that you've learned. Thanks for playing. Namaste.